I am your host, Gage. We are sponsored by WG, Advanced G, and Rogue Energy. Use my code CWE99 for 10% off on all purchase order. Also, be sure to check out my Brainbusters Tees merch. You have to scroll, but you'll see my little logo. And yeah, I got hats, stickers, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, you name it. Be sure to go check it out. And yeah, I'm gonna bring on my special guest. How we doing, Jake?
Hey Gage, what's going on, guys? What's up, Cincy enthusiasts, viewers? How we doing this morning?
Pretty good. Good morning. Good morning. Um, I'm just gonna ask you a couple questions about your wrestling career and about your backbreakers, if you don't mind.
Hey, anything you want?
All right, bet.
I'm open to it.
First, who trained you?
So I have a nice extensive training history, just because I feel like in this business, it's always evolving, and who you talk to and who you work with at a certain time in your career influences you in different ways. So always got to keep always got to keep growing, always got to keep getting better. So Uh, heart of the pandemic 2020, I started with Steve Boz of Chicago style wrestling.
Okay. Okay.
And so I was born and raised in Chicago. And
Okay.
then
Cool. Cool. Cool.
from there, I wanted to, you want to diverse your styles a little bit. So I started working with Gringo Loco and the Atomico family over in at Galley Lucha up in Chicago as well. Um, After that, I got the opportunity to move out west to Los Angeles and train with Rikishi and Reno Anawai at Knox Pro Academy.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Yep.
in California.
Yep, it's in Los Angeles.
Cool. 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 Okay.
So I spent a good 3 years there, and then during my time there, I also got to be a part of the second ever graduating class from the New Japan dojo in LA.
Wow, that's dope.
Yep, and
Oh yeah.
I got to do some extensive work with Paul London out there as well.
Oh, nice. Nice. Nice.
Yep, and then most recently, as you've probably seen, I know you've caught a. I know you stream our stuff a lot. I've gotten to work with Al and Al Snow and Doug Basham over at OVW. So,
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
and
Uh,
then coming up here, I got some. I will say this: I do have some news. I'd love to put on here.
yeah.
Rusev Miro
Yep.
is
Yep.
opening up his school here in Nashville in March,
I did
and
see about that. That's cool.
yes, and he's invited myself to come and help with some of the training over there. So
That's
and
so cool.
Miro was a part of the first ever graduating class at Knox Pro.
Okay.
So now he's had his hands on me pretty extensively throughout my career and my time there. So
That's so
uh,
cool.
yeah, I've gotten a lot of opportunities in the business, because he's put my name on me. So
That's awesome. How long have you been doing this?
so I started in the heart of the pandemic, 2020. I went to I walked in the doors at Chicago style, I believe in like June of
Okay.
2020, and then my first match was in October of 2020, and just kept on rolling from there.
So I can ask you this: how was wrestling in the pandemic era?
Oh man, it was really
Rough.
no, I mean not even that rough. It's just crazy to look back on.
I mean, the
I was learning how
atmosphere.
to I was learning how to bump and run the ropes with a mask on
Okay.
a
Okay.
lot of
So
the
you had a mask
times.
on.
Yeah, as things lightened up, we were able to like show up with a negative test every week or two,
Right.
and we would all whoever had a negative test be able to not wear their mask.
Mm-hmm.
So that was nice. And then by October, when I had my first show, things had really eased over. It wasn't as the tensions weren't as high. So I don't even remember. I'm sure there were, but I don't remember being too many mask wearers in the crowd. I don't know. It's one of those. I guess it's one of those details that you try to forget, right? Because it's like so.
Right.
It's like
It, wa-
so. It was
it
such
was
a
a
weird
weird
time.
timeline for
Yeah, it was
sure.
such a weird time.
Um. Let's see. What do you have? Do you have any hobbies or interests outside of wrestling?
I am the. I am probably one of the biggest sports fans that
Cool.
you
Cool.
can
Cool. Cool.
run into. I am a diehard Chicago Cubs and Dallas Cowboys fan.
Dallas
So,
Cowboys. Where'd that come from?
My so back in the day, especially in the Chicagoland area,
Mhm.
who you could watch on TV for football was like, it depended on who had the TV deal.
Right,
So
right.
back in the day, my dad was growing up in Chicagoland area. You could catch the Bears, but Dallas was America's team.
Well, it was back then for sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
Roger Starbuck, all those guys. So like by the time I was born in '97.
Okay,
So
okay.
I'm on the back end of that dynasty for the
Okay.
Cowboys, and I was born with a Troy Aikman jersey on my back. So
For sure,
that
for sure.
that was and then obviously the Cubs. I grew up in Chicago. I think Wrigley Field's probably my favorite place on earth.
Okay, yeah,
I,
yeah.
I was right in front of the marquee when Game 7. I was in the streets with everybody. It
Okay,
was
okay.
time of my life. I went to the parade with bronchitis and pneumonia with no voice.
Okay.
Was
When they won the World
Yeah,
Series?
when we won the World Series. And
What
I haven't gotten married yet. I don't have kids. I always jokingly say that was the best day of my life.
That's awesome. I mean, I don't have kids and I'm not married either, but you know, eh, I am a huge Cubs fan, which is funny because my mom and my uncle are both from Gary, Indiana, which is an hour away from Chicago.
Yeah, of course,
So
Northwest Indiana.
they kind of consider themselves,
Yep.
Chicago natives, and
That's
I'm like,
uh that's
okay,
Jackson. That's Jackson territory.
I believe so. Yes, yes.
Jackson family territory.
And my mom's a huge Bears fan, Cubs fan. My uncle's a huge I think he's a White Sox fan actually.
Oh man,
Yeah,
tough
yeah,
times. Tough time.
yeah.
You know what? That '05. I remember. I still remember the '05 World Series. But after that, it's just been.
And they had pretty
They
hard
sold. They
fall
sold
off.
their soul for that one.
Yeah. And then I just grew up for football, man. I just grew up as a Packers fan. My dad, who was born in Green Bay, Wisconsin, somehow got moved down to Kentucky. Um, and then later on, he passed away in 2010. But like, he was a huge Packers fan, and that I was all we was forced to watch is the Packers.
Yeah, so you just
That's
kind
all
of
they
carried.
had.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah,
kind of just
yeah.
instilled in you. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and in 2010 when they won the Super Bowl, he unfortunately didn't get to see him, but like it was kind of cool. It was a
Yeah, like
coincidence, you
same.
know.
That's crazy. Same
Yeah.
year. Like, that's like you can't write that.
Right. That was better. It was awesome.
Yeah, it makes it like
Um,
makes it a little more bittersweet.
right, for sure. Do you have a favorite match you've been a part of?
Oh man, the match that I am most proud of in my career to this point is my first TNA match with Ryan Nemeth.
Okay, take me back. Okay, can you take me back to it? Like walk me through it?
Absolutely, yeah. It was almost a year ago, coming up on It was March of last year. My first loop with TNA was in St. Joseph's, Missouri,
Okay.
and uh, it was one of those things where like you show up, I showed up to that loop not knowing if I was going to have anything. Right? It was
Right.
just hey, here's an opportunity. If something comes up, we'll see what you got.
For sure.
And Ryan was coming off of that weird thing with the lawsuit, right?
Ryan's
And
what, Nick's
uh,
brother?
yes,
Okay,
he's
okay.
coming off that weird like AEW lawsuit thing. He was,
Yep,
he needed something to legitimize himself,
for sure.
and I was there you know trying to prove myself, and I think it was just guys who like had something to prove in the moment, and we went out there, and I got a better reaction than I could have ever imagined. He got reactions that he hadn't gotten before,
That's awesome.
and we came to the back, and um, I was overwhelmed, man. There was a lot of the guys in the locker room were standing around the monitor watching, and we got applause from the boys and everybody,
Oh
and
yeah.
Tommy Dreamer pulled me aside and had some very, very nice things to say, and I think it really set me up for the rest of my year last year. A
That's awesome.
10 plus matches with TNA last
I'm about
year.
to say, yeah, you were on TNA quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean
They seem to
20
really like you.
yeah, 2025 was a huge year for my career. And
Hell
like
yeah, it was.
just busted my butt and just did you do what you got to do to make it happen. You use take your time. I still have a shoot job, so you take your time off of work, and you just you try to show up for it all, and just when you're there, you bust your tail, man. You earn it. You work for it all. So
Facts, facts.
yeah,
So you do have a day job?
yeah, I do. I sell coffee here in Nashville, actually.
No, really? Okay, that's
Yeah,
cool.
no, I love it.
Nice,
It's a
nice,
not for profit company. Uh, the proceeds go back to the South Nashville community.
for
Uh,
sure,
there's a lot of kids that don't you know they don't have a future unless if they weren't in our program, the future that they have for them would have never materialized. So we have some after school programs that like turn into um, jobs that they can do, whether it's roasting coffee, working on our equipment, barista experience, coffee, working at a coffee shop experience, just in general.
for sure,
Um, we once they get into high school, we create those job opportunities. So, some of these kids are like helping mom and dad, or just mom, to pay the bills,
for
and
sure.
um, there are times where like we have some very kind older you know ladies in the office, and there's times where those kids have never talked to someone like that before.
Right,
Like the whether it's a color barrier thing, or you name it. Like it's like it's crazy. These kids are having an experience that they wouldn't have had otherwise
gotcha.
without a program and a company like this. So, and it's the best part about it. It's faith backed as well. So, um, yeah, it's been an incredible experience with them, and I'm very grateful.
That's awesome. Heck yeah. Um,
Humphrey Street
so
Coffee is the name of the coffee shop. If anybody listening comes to Nashville and wants to try some really really good coffee,
what's the name of it again?
Humphrey Street Coffee.
Humphrey.
It's located in South Nashville,
Okay,
just down
Humphrey
just down the
Coffee.
road. Yeah, it's really good.
Okay,
Humphrey Street Coffee.
Humphrey Street Coffee. Go check it out if you're in Nashville. Heck yeah. Um, so it you've been working as a babyface
Hmm.
for your entire career. You have
Primarily, for the most part, I would say, you know what? I honestly I took I moved to Nashville in 2024,
okay,
and a lot of the times, we did training matches and at Knox every training day, and I was in the ring there like probably 3 or 4 days a week,
for
like
sure.
outside of my shows. So I got a lot of hands-on experience in there, and like a lot of times I was working as a heel in those training matches. And so
Right.
I was able to find like that comfort there. And then when I first moved to Nashville, there were a couple shows in West Tennessee, near where my family lived now,
Okay.
that I was doing just to get my feet wet out here, and make let the word of the worker that I am kind of spread for itself.
For
And
sure.
that was mid 2004 or 2024. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And you know from there, like the confidence for that just grew, right? And something I learned from Doug, right, when you're working for multiple promotions like this, is like when one place wants you to go right, another place you need to go left, because you got
Right.
to stay versatile. So he's like, TNA has you as this baby face, is trying to come from behind and everything, and try to earn that first win. Why don't we go left here?
Right.
WW needed, especially like with this Rush division, and eventually into the social media division, they're gonna need heels that, one, can take command of the ring the way that I can, and two, they're gonna need heels that can get these students that we're getting on TV up to pace and up to par, and get them with the program, right?
Right.
So you see a lot of the guys. I'm proud. I'm so proud of that locker room up there. They are. We had a lot of the old guard that had been in OVW for a long time now.
Okay.
Kind of slowly depart over my time there, whether
Right.
it's, it was Cash Flow, Haley, Jesse, you know, Luscious Lawrence, Omar, all those guys. They've trickled down, whether an injury put them down or they had other opportunities they had to take advantage of. So like when old guard leaves, your new people have to step up, right? And so there's been a handful of us who have stepped into those roles, whether it's as an open ear or a locker room leader or anything like that. So uh, it's been a great experience there, and I'm really proud of what's going on there right now. And looks like we're having a really fun expansion period as well. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, I
excited.
mean,
For as long as I can be a part of it, I'm very grateful for that. They taught me how to work TV and like really like expand upon this heel role,
for sure.
more, and especially like in a on a platform like that that's to where a lot of people are seeing this heel role when they're used to me being that, you know, they call, what do they call me there? They call me like Timu Cody Rhodes, right? I've heard that before.
Wow.
Um, like this is one of those stupid fan chants, but like yeah, I always say it like that rah rah baby face. I do get inspired by Cody for that.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it's like I can be that for any, that's what I tell people. You want me to be that rah rah Cody Rhodes baby face? I can be that. You want me to be that edge heel, that ultimate
Right,
opportunist, edge heel? I can be that.
right,
That vicious guy. I can be that too. So whatever, you have to be versatile in this business. Otherwise, you're gonna get eaten.
for sure. So you have one of the devastating best backbreakers like in the game right now. How did that come up with like about?
So combination, I had been watching, you watch old TNA and Homicide with the Vertebreaker, and
Yeah,
when I'm
yeah.
watching when I'm watching old, and just any match in general, I see guys hitting stuff. I'm like, how can I turn that into a backbreaker? Like that's
Right,
always
right.
like that's like my, how can I take the when you're coming up in wrestling, it's like they always tell you, how can you take something that's been done and how can you like make it your own, right?
Modify it. Yeah, yeah.
Modify it, and like how can you take something and make it your own? So my way of
Right.
making it my own has always been the backbreakers. So um, this is a perfect opportunity. So I saw that, and then same like I think it was like a hard justice from like back in the day. I think it was. So like
Okay.
early in the card, Homicide, LAX. A little later in the card, you had Abyss, and Abyss used to do that one. I forgot what it was called, where he'd have him up in a fireman's carry, like kind of, and then he'd sit out on his butt, right?
Okay, okay, yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
it was like a torture rack, and then he'd sit out like kind of how I sit out with that, the same way on
Yeah,
the vertebraker backbreaker. So I was like
right.
kind of combining those two together, um, is what ultimately like inspired that, and the feedback that I'm getting on it, and I wasn't expecting. I hit it for the first time at TNA, um, in a tag match with Core Kid Javi, Body Javi the
Okay.
Body,
Okay, okay, okay.
and like we're going against Sinner and Saint, and I hit it for the first time, and I got to the back, and these guys were like, "Yo, where'd you bust that out from?" Like, because when you're calling back stuff to your agent, you're just like, "Oh yeah, I'm hitting a backbreaker."
Right,
And
right,
see, and
right.
they're like, "Whoa, that wasn't just a backbreaker!" Like, holy crap,
I'm about
So
to say you put a twist on your backbreakers, which is I like. I like your backbreakers are very different, very unique, and it's just something fun to watch for me. I love it. So,
thank you. No, I mean, I've had some extensive conversations with Roger Strong before,
okay,
and
yeah,
I
yeah,
always
yeah.
tell, because obviously huge inspiration for me. So, um, I always say like Roddy's backbreakers are vicious. There's intent. There's something about them where you're like,
Right.
like with mine, I feel like mine are a little more elegant, right? And that's where the artist side, like the Jake, Jake Painter, what is, why? First of all, it's my real name, right?
Okay, yeah.
Secondly, it's like, okay, now it's a unique name, so we're gonna use it. We're gonna run with it, how can we make this into some character, right? And then
Right,
that's kind of
right.
how the backbreaking artist came about. It's like, cool, we can put this artistic twist on these backbreakers. We might have something because
That's
not
awesome.
yeah, not only does it sound, not only you're like, okay, it makes sense, it goes with his name, like cool. The other side of it too is that like as soon as you hear the backbreaking artist, you hear the intent. You know what, like, okay, you know what this guy's doing. You know what this
Right.
guy's about, right? And
Oh,
like
yeah.
I've always just been one. I've always wanted to just be one of those guys. Like when you hear my name, you hear my moniker. I'm setting the like it sets the tone.
Hell
Like you
yeah,
know
that's
what you're gonna
awesome,
get. You know what you're gonna get in the ring out of it. So
for sure. Are we ever gonna see you back in TNA?
oh yeah, that is. I actually just I had been on the road with them since March of last year. So
Okay,
January was my first. I don't like ideally would not like to miss two loops, but with them being like back to back like that, it just kind of made sense with
I
timing of
mean,
everything.
they are coming to Nashville, right?
Yeah, so it'll be in Nashville.
Mm,
I'll be there. Uh, Atlanta, New Orleans. I see myself being at the loops for the foreseeable future. So
for sure,
uh, really looking forward to it. This kickoff on AMC is huge for us. All
for
those
sure. Yeah,
another locker room that like I've been around a couple times, like coming up, right, just doing extra work and helping out and all that stuff. So to see all those guys that are like still around,
for sure.
get the company to where it is now
Yeah,
is that's like I TNA was the first form of wrestling outside of WWE that I found.
I fell in love with it because you know who I found that really made me hook onto it was
Ooh,
the phenomenal one, AJ
of course,
Styles.
of course.
So yeah,
I
he's the one that got me hooked onto it. And then when he first jumped the ship to WWE, I'm like, holy crap, it was
Yeah,
awesome.
no, I mean for
So
me, like it was one of those things where like I loved Christian, like I loved Edge and Christian. Like Edge is my inspiration, and Christian was just like, all right, like that's like his brother, right? His brother. So it's like
for sure,
So I've always followed Christian, and like I always liked Scott Steiner and like Kurt Angle, and so young Jake watching this, I'm like, yo, Grandpa, Mom, Dad, like where are my favorite wrestlers going? They're like,
right, right,
and my grandpa's like, like we watch Spike TV and like we're seeing this advertisement, like let's put it on for like at Kurt Angle and Christian and all these, and it's like, all right, cool, like so we put it on, and it's like immediately sunk my teeth into it. Like that
yeah,
was back when like YouTube and Livewire were first coming
yep,
out. So like just went back and just like started watching all the history on TNA and everything
absolutely,
I missed. And like now, like I have one of those Samsung smart TVs, and they come with like Samsung channels, and they
yeah,
have a
yeah,
they have a TNA channel, and that's what's playing in my house all the time. It's like the
facts.
TNA channel. So you get all those old TNA matches like in my house all the time. It's just like good vibes, like,
Hell yeah,
good nostalgic vibes. So
for sure. Yeah, I mean, I met AJ last year around this time, actually in February. Um, yeah, he made me fall in love with TNA and made me, start watching TNA more. I'm like, holy crap. I do have a
I do have a
couple.
couple.
Sorry,
Sorry,
I'm
I'm
echoing.
echoing.
sorry, Gage, I lost you for a second.
No, you're good.
Sweet. Gotcha.
I do
No,
have a
but I
couple
met
funny
I had
questions.
no, you're good. I had met AJ at Slammiversary this past year when he came back to TNA, and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
what a class act, man.
for sure,
I don't have. There is. You want to. He. Him. I'm just gonna go. Like I'll go ahead and just say him for now. I have a lot of respect for Brian Danielson, but AJ Styles is the reason why someone like me can do this. Well,
for
someone that
sure,
is, just a hair under 6 foot, my build, you know, my look. Like he's the reason why someone like me can do this, and he paved the way. So I made sure he knew that when I met him, and he was, he thanked me for the kind words, and he was very busy that day, so got him on
for
got him
sure.
on his way, got him on his way. So
That's awesome. Yeah, I just got a picture with AJ. I mean, nothing special, but the dude is such a class act, and yeah, his retirement tour is gonna hurt me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, I think it's been going on. I think today might be it, man.
I think so, and a lot of
Yeah, I
people
think
don't think
we'll.
so, but
Yeah, my fingers are crossed that there's going to be a little TNA run here at the end.
I do think they will be. If that is,
So, and I
that
don't.
will be
I guess
so cool.
that would be. I mean, that'd be great for us as a brand, right? That'd be great for TNA as a brand. So, that, and I'm sure AJ would. AJ kind of seems like a guy that likes to start or to finish things where they started, and I feel like
True,
that's why the Royal Rumble is going to be it for
because
him
we're when
because
he
that's where it started.
yeah,
So
he came back, he came in around 2016, I think,
yeah. Also, like this, what they're doing for Gunther right now. He's this new legend killer.
pushing Gunther to the roof,
I mean,
man.
he's a new legend killer. You
I
want to
mean,
be
yeah, he's
real, like he's gonna be eventually. I'm sure he'll take the moniker from Randy Orton and he'll do it to him.
for sure, for
So,
sure.
and you know what, Gunther's another one, man. Like, talk about a guy that said they said, "Hey, man, the only thing that is holding you back is something that you can control, which is your body and your weight." And to just go and completely reinvent himself and do what he's doing is, you know,
Facts.
that's why
Yeah, a
he's in
lot
the
of people
that's
don't
why
like
he's
Gunther, but as
no
I
that's
grow
why
older,
he's yeah that's why he's in the position he's in because he had all the tools and he was willing and able to make the changes when he got the feedback, and that's why he is where he is now.
fact. I do have a couple funny questions for you, I
Yeah,
guess.
go ahead.
Have you had any unusual encounters with a fan?
Nothing crazy.
Nothing
I've had
crazy.
like no I've had like fans ask for like dirty underwear, feet pictures,
Okay, okay.
things like that. um
I know
Honestly,
fans
like,
get kind of wild and stuff, but
yeah, me personally, no. Everybody's been pretty cool. Everyone's really supportive. Um, especially this past, especially this past year, like more TNA exposure, right? Like you start more people are, because for some fans, it's hard for them to just come up, especially just at a merch table. It's intimidating to come up and just chat. Hey man, I wake up whoever's watching, I wake up every morning. I piss and go to the bathroom just like just like everybody
right,
else, and I
fact,
drink water and all that stuff. So please come say what's up. And I have my struggles too. And so if you ever need anyone ever needs an ear, I'm here. So yeah, just yeah, the fans are awesome. They're the reason why we can do this. So that's I'm all about it.
facts. Do you have any social media you want to hype up? Any upcoming shows?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of something that I did last year was I used to be like BBA Jake Painter, like
Okay,
backbreaking artist, right? So I changed. I had gotten some advice since it was the handles weren't taken to change everything over to the Jake Painter because I'm the only
D.
Jake Painter.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so all my handles now will say the Jake Painter. So Instagram, Twitter, Jake Painter on Facebook, all that good stuff. So
That's cool. That's cool.
be on the lookout for pro wrestling tees
Oh, okay, for
coming up
sure.
here soon. Um,
I'll definitely have the cop one
yep,
off the merch
for
site.
sure. I'm
So
trying to think if there's anything else really. So coming up, Pro Wrestling Symphony this Sunday. I'm tagging with Javen Mira against a
okay,
couple of kids trying to make their names off us. But there's been something about this Nashville scene and I can't put my finger on it. I feel like I have been overlooked. Javen has been overlooked for a long time too, and that's why I brought him in to tag with me at Pro Wrestling Symphony. And we're looking to take over. And if that means starting with the tag division there, then so be it.
for sure,
We'll run through all those guys and then we'll move on.
for
So
sure.
we're not playing any games. These kids seem like some bright kids who are really excited to go get it. But
Hmm.
you know how I roll.
Facts, facts.
You know how I
Ready to
roll.
bring the heat.
I'm ready to bring the heat, and I'm not playing games, man. I'm tired of, especially in this town. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I am, and I'm tired of being overlooked in this town.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. before I wrap this up, I got two more questions.
Hey, you're good. I don't. We're good. I have nothing else going on this morning. We can chat for a little bit. I'm good.
You're good.
Yep.
Have you ever been up in the Cincinnati area?
So the only time that I have been in Cincinnati for anything wrestling related was when I did some extra work for WWE. I was backstage for Monday Night Raw up there.
Okay,
Yeah, I
okay,
have not wrestled up there yet, but I there are a couple of promotions in Ohio that I have had my eye on. Um, Obviously would love to get with Sammy Callahan up in Dayton
that'd be
when
cool. Yeah,
Revolver is around. Sammy has been a huge supporter of me, and anytime I needed advice or help with anything, he's always been an open ear and has no problem giving it to me. Uh, War wrestling is another one too that I've heard great things about. I have a couple buddies who have worked over there. Trying to think, there are a couple other ones too. Like there's that Columbus area. There's a couple. Even right there too, like right over the border in Michigan. I know there's like IWR and a couple other spots too. But are there any I should be on the lookout for that I haven't really mentioned?
Um, well, these are, I mean, they're indie promotion. That's called NWF.
Yeah.
It's where Abyss came from.
Oh, I've heard of NWF. You're right. You know what?
Yeah,
See,
yeah. I
there's a
interview a
couple.
lot. I interview a lot of their wrestlers. I know
Yeah.
Icon Lee came from there.
Yeah. So did Rex came from there.
Yep,
Star Rider came from
yep.
there. Yep, I remember. See, okay, I remember. See,
So I
I
did a
did.
little bit. I did a little bit training. I got into a relationship around 2019. I quit going. I quit committed, but I mean
Yep,
they stuck me in the ring as a referee, and I got to know the insides and outs, and I did pretty
nice.
good. But I just got into a relationship, and I just quit going. But
Hey man, it's okay. I mean, it's one of those things. Like the amount of sacrifices I've made to do this, and it's like you could ask any wrestler this. I read this the other day. As you ask any wrestler what they've sacrificed for wrestling, and 9 times out of 10, the answer is everything.
probably relationships and everything.
I
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
everything. Like I am very fortunate, and I'll keep this as vague as it is. Whoever knows knows whatever. I've been very fortunate to date someone in the business, right? And it's
Okay.
been, someone who understands and who's able to, it's easy. It's been a lot easier, because if it was on the other side of things, I couldn't imagine having to explain like, oh yeah, I gotta leave for a week at a time, or
Right.
I gotta this whole weekend I'm just gonna be on the road. So
Right.
like not having to explain that to somebody and all that makes everything so much easier and um more convenient, and then like vice versa, right? When they have to go do the same thing, it's like they don't have to explain that to me. I'm doing the same thing they are. We're in the same boat, and so
Facts.
it's a very solid support system for each other. So
And then last but not least, do you have any questions for me?
um how long you been doing the podcast, man?
So I just started it this year. Actually, I
Nice.
just had a. It's been a goal of mine since last year. Ever since I did content creating
Yeah,
for all kinds of pro wrestling. And I do it all. But the podcast came in mind this year, and I just started asking wrestlers left and right. My next one is with Ashton Adonis, and that's
awesome.
in
He's the
February.
man, dude. I love Ashton.
Yeah, he's such an
Good,
athlete. He's really cool.
dude. Good homie.
So
That'll be a fun conversation. He's got fun stories.
for sure. And like my biggest goal, like, is to get people back into pro wrestling because it's such a pop culture now. And like
Yeah, I
I
mean it's
just
back in it, right? Like it's
mm-hmm.
back. It is. It's
Because
like
you got so many promotions now, and it's so crazy. Like AEW, Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and then you got AAA,
yeah. I mean,
NXT.
yeah. It's kind of like this
Jeez, it's
weird,
just
right? It's like this weird line in the sand. You got WWE, TNA, and AAA on one side, and you get like AEW, New Japan, CMLL on the other side, right? And
for
MLW kind of
me.
falls under that same umbrella with AEW too. So
Facts. I do know there's a lot of tribalism, and I don't like to put into tribalism because it's like
yeah.
for me as a content creator, it's like there's so much content to put out now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's
It's crazy.
a perfect example is like a Thursday night, right? You go from
Yeah.
OVW to TNA, and then you can. You can stream something every day.
For sure,
Literally,
for sure.
it's for content creators. It's a great opportunity, and like I'm happy that recently like OVW is being able to take advantage of a lot of these content, creators, whether it's on that new sports network that we just jumped on, or like
Yep.
people like yourself doing
Yeah,
those streams and just getting the content out there more. It's gonna help this brand grow. So
absolutely. And plus, like OVW is like one of the biggest superstars ever to come from. Like The
uh,
Miz, Randy
everybody,
Orton, Brock
everybody,
Lesnar. Yeah,
you name it,
everybody.
they walk through those
Yep.
doors.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just so cool.
Yeah, there's a
Um,
wall or a little. I'll give you a little insider. There's a wall upstairs that when you wrestle um, at the OVW at the Davis Arena, you sign the wall,
okay.
and you can find every name in the book on there. You can find Kenny Omega's name is on there. You can find all the Rascals signed it. You
That's
can find
awesome. That's
like
awesome.
and you can just the range of people that you can see have been through those doors. It's insane. It's
It's
incredible.
awesome. For
Yeah.
sure. You have any championships in sight for this year? Like
I
goals?
will be a champion in OVW this year.
Okay, cool. Cool,
I'm
cool,
not.
cool.
I am not leaving that promotion without. I will not. I will. My tenure there will not end without me having something to show for it.
Facts. Facts.
I will. Another thing too. I've been targeting this Rush Division title. I'll break some news to you. There are rules to this Rush Division title that have been ignored for years,
Okay.
and there is a way to the top of OVW through that Rush Division title.
We're gonna see Jake
And when
Painter
I
at the top.
and when I get my hands on that Rush Division title, I promise you that I'm going to use it to its full capability, and I'm going to get to the top.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see you at the top.
Yep. And I can't wait. I cannot wait to get the plan in motion. And ideally, we have a pay-per-view February 15th, right? Tough Love
Okay.
coming up here.
Yep. Yep.
My target is on Brendan Balling. I want that Rush Division title. Yeah, I've been targeting him for weeks. I've been taking out my frustrations on Icon Lee the last couple weeks. So
Yeah. Yeah. I
you
think
know,
that
so
match is gonna cook. I think that match is gonna cook. I've
yeah, I
seen a
can't wait.
couple.
The kid's gotten more confident. I beat him in his first match
Okay.
in OVW. So, I already have a win over the champ. So that's a good. I'm already in a good place there, and I've just been building momentum, man. It's one of those things where it's the snowball effect is building, and it's either get on or get out the way.
For sure. For sure. We are about to wrap this up, and we are sponsored by WG, Advanced G, and Rogue Energy, your official energy drink for your streamers, content creators, podcasters, gamers, and whatnot. Um, be sure to check out brainbusterstees.com for my merch, Sensi Wrestling Enthusiast. You'll have to scroll a couple times, but you'll see my logo. I got two of them, but I got hats, stickers, t-shirts, sweaters, hoodies, and you also heard about his merch on Pro Wrestling Tees as well.
Be on the lookout. 2026.
For sure, for sure. Jake, you've been an awesome host. I can't wait to have you on for more. I can't wait to follow your wrestling career because you are like one of the best athletes right now, in my opinion.
Thank you.
So
Thank you. I appreciate that, Gage. Thank you very much.
I appreciate you, man. And we're about to wrap this up. Yeah, Jake's been an awesome co-host, man. If you haven't, go check him out. OVW and TNA. And yeah, this has been an awesome episode 15. So be sure to check out my socials as well. And this has been episode 15 with Jake Painter. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.